time because I created a wax schedule for my filming this week and I decided I'm gonna film 5 videos. Hello everybody, my name is Tulla, and back in spring 2020 I had a pretty successful college application cycle, I guess you could call it that. So I decided to start making YouTube videos to help you guys get into your dream colleges. So today I'm going to be reading my supplemental essays for Notre Dame. Right now I'm pulling up my comment app to see just exactly what you guys will have to work with for the applications this year, because I know Corona has messed everything up. So under college search, I'm just going to go back and add Notre Dame once again. A lot of my answers to some of these questions are not going to be helpful, like my Catholic parish name. I am not Catholic. My preferred admissions plan was regular decision, and I was accepted in regular decision. I did not submit a creative portfolio because I am not artistically talented, I guess we could say. Under academics, which college or school at Notre Dame interests you, I put the College of Science. That would definitely be the college that I would attend if I had gone there. Just to get it out of the way really fast, I am not going to Notre Dame, but I wanted to share my essays with you guys because I thought they would be pretty helpful. If you want to see where I actually went to college, be sure to watch my college decisions video or go follow me on Instagram. I have pictures posted there as well. Either of those two ways you will figure out where I'm going, although I know most of you already know, but I just want to plug my other things. So I know that testing like ACT and SAT is optional for a ton of colleges this year, Notre Dame included. I submitted my ACT, and I would recommend that if you liked your score and you had the opportunity to take the SAT, because I know that's not available for everyone, I would recommend that you definitely send it. It's only going to help if you have a good score, obviously, so if you are happy with your score, send it for sure. Under activities, it's personal preference, just list your top, I guess. Under family, I was not a legacy in any way, shape, or form. Here we go, writing, the good stuff. This is what y'all are probably here for, and so we're gonna get into this really fast. But first, a little disclaimer. I just wanna say that I'm only putting my essays out there to give y'all a jumping off point and to help you with how to start your essays. Back when I was applying, it was super stressful, just like it is for everyone, and I wanted somewhere to look at and be like, okay, I can do this. Here's someone else that was successful getting into college. I can do this too. So this is intended to be that point for you guys. If you try to copy mine or anyone else's essays from anywhere on the internet, you're only doing yourself a disservice. Colleges are going to know if they've seen an essay before. Top colleges like Notre Dame are not going to accept unoriginal and frankly plagiarized essays. It's not going to be a good idea for you to do that. If you want to get into a top college like Notre Dame, please write your own essay. They are looking for creativity, they are looking for originality, and so that is the most important thing you can do. To that same point, I am not encouraging you to use any specific format. I am not telling you you have to use any specific format. I am just sharing with you what was successful for me and making my recommendations. So, with all of that dramatic stuff being said, here are the essays that I responded to. So it says that you have one required question and you can choose 2 out of 3 of the essays. I will be reading all 3 of those, and all 3 of them have the same word count, which is 150 to 200 words. Okay, so the first required essay was, what excites you about the University of Notre Dame that makes it stand out from other institutions? My answer was, in college, I hope to conduct research that can be used to improve the lives of those around me. At a university backed by faith and service in everything it does, I know I would be surrounded by a community of students that wish to do the same. Reading about Notre Dame's neuroscience students creating interactive workbooks focused on mental health of single pregnant women is incredibly inspiring. With resources such as the Flatley Center for Undergraduate Scholarly Engagement and the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program, I would have access to all the means necessary to make my goal of conducting community-based research a reality. At Notre Dame, I would be surrounded by a student body that wants to take what they have learned in their classes and labs and apply it to real-world situations to make a difference in their community. Notre Dame's combination of a close-knit student body, faith-based education, and world-class research opportunities is unparalleled by any other university and make it the perfect place for me to grow as both a scholar and an individual. So let's unpack my answer to this question and give you a few tips about how to write it. I know that you guys are applying to multiple schools, so a lot of the tips that I have in this video are going to be applicable to every school that you apply to. Things like creativity, originality, and subject matter, and how to make that more interesting. So even if I'm saying that Notre Dame wants this, blah, 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 again, which is my opinion, be sure to use those tips on other essays as well. When I answered this question, the first thing I did was I went to the Notre Dame website and saw what they were most proud of. I know obviously faith-based education is a super big part of their campus, and being a Christian, I really liked that, so I made sure to highlight it. I know it's definitely something that they love about their college, and I really liked it too. I found an article that I really loved and really wanted to include because it was super inspiring to me, and that was the article about the neuroscience students creating interactive workbooks focused on mental health of single pregnant women. I thought that was so incredibly amazing and such a great thing to do. And so I wanted to include that in my essay just to say that, holy cow, Notre Dame is pushing their students to do these incredible research projects that are so helpful to the community, and I absolutely love that. I wanted them to know that I loved the research that their students were doing, and I would love to be a part of that community. I also made sure to highlight 2 specific centers that I would like to be a part of because it shows them that I've done my research into their college and the things that I would like to be a part of. They want students that want to be a member of their community, and doing research and background on specific things that you would like to take part in is a great way to show them that you like their college and you're taking the initiative to do research. I also know that their strong community is a really big thing at Notre Dame, so I made sure to highlight that. So some tips for when you're trying to write this essay: I would definitely start out the same way that I did and maybe look at the website or anything else that will give you a good idea of what Notre Dame is proud of in their community. And then I would encourage you to write about the things that you like as well. Whenever you're taking something and expressing it back to them that you love a part of that, that's a super great way to flatter the college and say, I really love what you're doing. That's a great thing, and admissions officers are going to be proud of their college and think, wow, this student loves the college as much as I do. I also made sure to focus on little specific details like the world-class research opportunities. If there's something like that at a college you love, whether it's an art or a dance program or a STEM-based thing, make sure to highlight that if it's unique to that college or a really strong program at that college. They love seeing that you want to be a part of this specific group. For me, it was research, and those centers like the Flatley Center for Scholarly Engagement and the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program. Things like that, colleges love to see that you want to be a part of. A super important point to highlight in the question is things that make it stand out from other institutions. If you're writing about something super general that other places have, they're gonna know that you haven't done your research enough to be able to answer this question. I would for sure encourage you to find one thing at least that is super, super unique about Notre Dame or whatever college you're writing about, because I know other colleges have similar prompts. For me, I found 3 or 4 things like the 2 centers and the neuroscience students research, and I would definitely encourage you to do the same. So I know that Notre Dame changes their essay topics pretty regularly, possibly yearly, and some of the essay topics that I wrote about have been either changed or dropped completely, but remember that these are still essays that got me accepted, so they're a very useful jumping off point for the baseline caliber writing that will get you accepted. So instead of giving you tips on these essays, I'm actually going to go through, read the essays that I wrote, and then go to the Common App and give you tips for the 2020-2021 application season. So the first question that I answered was, the founder of the University of Notre Dame, Father Edward Sorin, CSC, which I'm not exactly sure what it stands for, but I'm pretty sure it's some kind of Catholic recognition suffix thing, was only 28 when he established the university with the vision that it would become a powerful means of doing good. We have always known that young people can be catalysts for change. What is one way that you have made an impact in your community? Again, 200 words max. I know there's a similar application topic this year, but it's not the exact same. So the essay that I wrote is, the summer after 9th grade, I saw a problem in my community and decided to tackle it head on. An absence of free math tutoring was leaving many incoming freshmen confused and worried about their mandatory bridge work packets. In order to remedy this, I have spent my summer breaks for the past 3 years conducting a 10-week program, which I conceived and directed, offering free tutoring for these students. While the program is named Math Lab, the benefits go well beyond algebra or geometry class. Through review of math concepts, Math Lab helps incoming freshmen understand high school expectations, make upperclassmen friends that help with the hurdles of high school, and enter their new school better prepared to succeed. The program's success was recently featured on the local ABC affiliate station under the segment Angels in Our Midst, recognizing local citizens for good deeds. In the past 3 years, Math Lab has helped over 200 students prepare for their new environment in high school. Whenever one of my past students waves to me in the hallways or tells me how they scored an A on their summer review test, I know Math Lab is a program I am extremely proud of. I'm looking back through the essays I wrote, and one that I decided not to write was Defend an Unpopular Opinion You Hold, and my one sentence that I wrote is Times New Roman is an ugly font. I stand by that. That is facts. I am sorry if you disagree. It's true. I will fight you in the comments if you would like to fight me. We only use Roboto. How do you pronounce that?
Roboto.
We only use Roboto fonts.
Roboto. Roboto.
That doesn't sound good. I will defend my argument, cite my sources, and you will realize that you are wrong if you use Times New Roman. I do realize I'm fighting literally every researcher out there in MLA format. I do not care. On to the actual essay that I wrote. Many high schools have books that are required reading. Thinking beyond the common examples, what book do you believe should be on your school's reading list and why? Also, I feel very strongly about this book. I love it. I think it is a work of art. If you are a STEM or neuroscience or science person, I would highly encourage you to read this. If you are pre-med, read it. Okay, so Do No Harm and this book are the best medical books. Also, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, like the Holy Trinity. Let's read. Okay. In a world where we regularly put our lives in the hands of physicians and surgeons, often without thinking twice, all students should learn about both the incredible successes and inevitable failures of modern medicine. This is why I believe Complications, A Surgeon's Notes on an Imperfect Science should be on my school's required reading list. As someone who has recently dealt with the loss of a family member, Complications serves as a reminder that the medical field we see as orderly and precise, in reality, is uncertain and fallible. While this is a scary notion, it prepares us for the unpredictability of medical procedures. In these moments, it will always be better to be prepared for any outcome than to be completely blindsided by the aftermath. Complications helped me realize that in the wake of a tragedy, we cannot place the blame on doctors that worked their hardest to care for an ailing loved one, but simply did not have the means to heal. In a society reliant on modern medicine, Complications' ability to help those grieving cope with loss makes it a book that should be on every school's required reading list. I love that book so much, and it really related when I read it to the personal situation that I was in my life right then, and I enjoyed reading that book so much. It really did help me cope with the idea of loss, which is something that I feel like so many people really struggle with. It's just in human nature to struggle with loss. Also, I just learned that the phone that I record on has not been charging. My charger's broken, which is great. Now that I've explained to you all of the essays that I wrote last year, let's go through the new 2020-2021 Notre Dame essays so I can give you some tips and tricks on how to write those. There are 5 different options for you to choose from, and you have to respond to 2 of them. So because the word count for these essays is only 200 words, my biggest tip really is to try not to cram too much into one essay. It's really difficult when you have a ton to write about and you're like, oh my gosh, there are all of these great things that I want to write about, but if you try to fit 4 points into an essay and you only have 50 words for each of those points, it's not going to be as in-depth and detailed as you want it to be. I would really say for an essay this short, take one main big topic and expand on that so you can really completely write about every aspect of that topic and really give a full in-depth idea of what you're writing about. Colleges are going to like to have that really deep understanding of your topic rather than have a bunch of different crazy things on an essay that kind of seems jumbled and out of place. Even if it's a short essay, you're going to want to make sure it flows nicely from paragraph to paragraph. I think this goes without saying, but choosing wisely is a super important thing. But conversely, if you choose an essay and you feel like maybe it's not exactly what you're going for, don't be afraid to switch topics. If you write 150 words and then you're stuck and you don't love it, don't be afraid to scrap it and start on a totally new topic. As you can see from the Times New Roman idea that I had at first, I was working on 3 essays at the time. At the end, I dropped the Defend an Unpopular Opinion You Hold for the other 2 just because I feel like I couldn't have written as strong of an essay on that one. So again, don't be afraid if you have a bunch of different ideas to skip from topic to topic before you find one that you really like and you really want to stick with. I say this for a lot of my essays, and it's kind of self-explanatory, but I feel like it's definitely worth noting that if you only have 200 words, use those words wisely. I think you would really be doing yourself a disservice if you left a lot of that word count untouched, because these supplemental essays are really where the school, in this case Notre Dame, gets to see your personality. Back to personality, I know it's something that I've touched on so many times in so many of my videos, but it really is how these colleges are able to see you and get an explanation of who you are, how you think, what you do, and the qualities that they want to see on their campus. I know that interviews are going to be really weird this year, so you're going to have even less of a chance to get your personality across to an interviewer if it's over the phone rather than in person. So those are all of my tips and tricks for the Notre Dame supplemental essays. I know the college application process is a super stressful time, and I wish you all the absolute best luck. If you have any more questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments, whether they're on Notre Dame essays or anything else. I love making videos answering your questions, and I often reply to questions directly in the comments. If this video helped you in any way, please leave a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to see any of my other essay videos or anything else. I make other videos too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.